Hi folks, John Dunn here, RPG freelancer, publisher behind Meliorvia. I'm up here today at Immortals Inc. with Mikey.
What is up, John? It looks like we're talking about something up my alley today.
I think we might be. We're talking superheroes.
Dude.
And not just any superheroes, we are talking Marvel superheroes.
I'm all ears.
All right, so we are going to talk today about the Marvel Multiverse Role Playing Game. Right there on the spine, it says 616. Do you know what that means?
Is that Earth?
It is. That is the Marvel Comics standard reality. It's a little different from the Marvel Cinematic one, the movies.
Yeah.
But this is it's
Just
tied
like
into that main Marvel comic book universe. And the system ties into that too. We're going to come back to that in a bit. The lead on this was Matt Forbeck. Matt Forbeck was the lead on the Shotguns and Sorcery
Okay,
book
that's
that
why
we talked about a while ago.
Yeah.
He also created Brave New World, did a lot of work on Chill, Deadlands, the Marvel Heroic System, and his son Marty, who also did some work on Shotguns and Sorcery, was involved in this as well.
Nice.
There was a playtest edition of this that came out in the spring of 22. This released pretty recently, though, in hardcover, so this isn't the playtest anymore. This is the official final version of the game. And I do want to point out that this game is very much designed to work well for virtual tabletops, in addition to just using it around your normal gaming table.
Evolutionary.
So if you're in that situation where you want to be playing a game with people at remote locations, there are a lot of tools out there already for Marvel Heroic. So the core of this, I mentioned that 616 on the spine. This is its own game system, and it is called the D616 system.
Wow.
Yeah. And the way that it works is you roll 3 dice, one of which is a different color, right? So 2 standard 6s, and then you got that 1 in the middle. And that 1 in the middle is kind of a special Marvel die. So you want to have that be a different color.
That's awesome.
You want to roll high on all 3 dice, and the difficulty is going to vary based on your character's rank, and then things like your character's edge or your trouble might complicate rolls. So an edge is kind of a special knack that you have, and a trouble is just kind of a recurring issue. Like Peter Parker has the recurring trouble that, he's a teenager.
Yeah.
Right?
He doesn't know what he's talking about, like me. It's like,
Exactly. There you go.
That's a trouble for sure.
The first chunk of the book just covers those core mechanics in detail, and then we get into character profiles. When you set up your campaign, you're going to pick a rank for that campaign, and that rank is on a level of 6 steps, and that ranges from rookies, so, maybe the New Mutants, characters at that power level, people without a whole lot of experience, all the way up to cosmic. So if you want to play Silver Surfer, you'd be talking about that kind of level, right? Characters have 6 abilities. Those are melee, agility, resilience, vigilance, ego, and logic. I said those in a specific order because, not shockingly, they spell out the word Marvel.
Nice.
Yeah. That's that whole, making everything on brand. Yeah. They did a lot of that with this system.
Now, if you have the Infinity Gauntlet on your hand, does that change anything?
I think that might make you cosmic power level at
Okay.
that rank.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
I think that might be a boost there. Abilities range from -3 to +9, and they might go higher, say, if you are wearing the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, rightfully so.
And characters also have an ability defense, which when you go to act against somebody, you're targeting their ability, and that's just going to be what that rank is from -3 to 9 plus 10 more. In addition, characters have attributes for health, focus, and karma. And then there's a system of traits and tags, again, kind of like that edge and trouble element I mentioned. After that, we get into the combat system, which includes weapons, healing, conditions. So, if you're knocked down, that's a condition. If you're knocked out or poisoned, these are all conditions. And then team maneuvers. So characters that have been working together may be able to do special moves just because they've been practicing and training together. I think the iconic one is when Colossus hurls Wolverine at an opponent.
Yes.
The fastball special.
And like I said, would the Avengers count as that big team?
Absolutely, especially after they'd have special actions that they could undertake when working together. Absolutely, yeah. Just things that have come up in their training where they've learned how to leverage one of those abilities together. Character creation is non-random, and there is a very specific example given of walking you through the system of creating a character. Then we get into backstories. Characters have origins. You know, every superhero needs an origin story. Those origins include, you get some very specific examples here, and origins set up your character's tags and their occupations. Occupations give more tags, some of which are narrative, and actually all tags are going to be narrative. And then you also have traits, and traits have a specific game mechanic effect. And then this rest of this character backstory section gets into how different tags and traits can work in play. The next chapter is the powers chapter, and there's more than 50 pages of specific powers, and then there's also power sets. So these are basically groups of powers that might be found together. So, you know, if you have the ability to turn yourself into flame, maybe you have flame control as well, or the ability to hurl flame, those kinds of things. Powers like that that are usually linked together, things that are found in groups, can make up your power sets. After the next section after that is our character section. This is heroes and villains. There's more than 125 listed. It's not every character in the Marvel Universe because there's an awful lot of characters in the Marvel Universe.
Be a big book.
But it is a lot of the iconic heroes. Each of those write-ups, you get one per page. You get their stats, you get their history, you get your personality. So if I just flip open to a random page here, you can see Juggernaut. We've got his stats here. We've got all of his powers listed over here, traits and tags, and then his biography. So you get a solid write-up for all these different characters so that even if you're not familiar with them, you know, say you're not a big X-Men fan, so you're not an expert on Juggernaut, you can find out about his relationship with Charles Xavier and other characters just by looking through that. And then there's also good personality notes that can help you as the game master to better portray that character if you're using him as an NPC in an adventure.
And I'm sure Daredevil's in there, but I bet they rewrote the whole thing. Get it? Get what I'm saying? Do you get the joke?
After that, there's this chapter that's all the Marvel Multiverse. It's kind of a zoomed out view of continuity. It's primarily focused on the 616 universe, but others are mentioned. So you do get some content about the different what if universes. You get some content on the Marvel Zombies universe.
Yes.
And a few other examples are included. There's a narrator chapter then that follows, which is a very functional game master's guide. Covers really a broad range of things, everything from finding a group to designing a campaign. Lots of really useful ideas here. Even if you don't end up running this one, there's a number of things that I think were great GM advice that you can use with any game system. Lastly, there's an appendix that breaks down the power sets. I mentioned them earlier. This is kind of a cool place where you see everything just compiled together. So to give you some ideas for when you're creating a character or even trying to model an existing character and put all that together. This is 320 pages, so there is an awful lot of content going on in here. It is $60. It is hardcover. It is full color. There's lots of great Marvel artwork in here. And I do like this cover here because it shows you several iconic Marvel characters, but then it also shows you kind of these silhouettes of the characters that the PC players might be creating to feature in your campaign.
I like that because there's so many. It's just like, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Up for grabs.
So if Marvel is someplace that you think it would be fun to have a campaign, we've got copies here at the shelf in Immortals. There are some cool source books coming out for this that expand on into some of the specific teams and big events that have happened in the Marvel Universe.
Ooh.
So if that's something that would interest you, make sure you ask Carlos about getting a copy of that.
I can't wait to talk about those too. And
right.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. I'm going to recommend this to everybody that walk through the door. So
till next time, folks, good gaming.
Bye.